and welcome to the Away Day Experience Show. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And it's all about the Away Day experience. Look, you may be a fan of AFC Bournemouth or a fellow EFL club, but your team will be on the ratings between now and the end of the season. It's been a fun series to do so far, eh, mate?
Yeah, it has, mate. Yeah, it's been good just looking at different aspects of an away game and trying to take that kind of the performance, the result, the football side out of it a little bit, and just look at the place in general. Yeah, I've quite enjoyed doing it.
There's a person who's watching right now who's not subscribed to the channel. If that's you, Tom, what should they do?
Click subscribe. It's so easy as well. It's there. It's massive. Just click it.
Why wouldn't you? Come on.
Doesn't make any sense not to, really. You do that and then you don't have to keep, because you obviously have it back. So just do that. They'll press the bell. They'll let you know, and happy days.
And the reason why you should subscribe is because Tom has got magic fingers. Tom, who are you doing this week? Boro. Oh my God, the longest trip of the season, mate. The longest trip. And you know what, mate? I was a bit nonplussed about this match, but then Sky, in all their wisdom, changed it to a 12:30 kickoff. We had 15 minutes more than what Middlesbrough did when they travelled down to us in the 2014-15 season. Sky made that a 12:15 kickoff. This one, though, ridiculous decision, eh?
Oh yeah, lovely of Sky. Let's think of the fans for a change. Yeah, it was a real shame. But listen, we knew it was going to be a tough trip anyway, didn't we? A long old slog, like you say. Furthest one we'll have to do. So I've been to the Riverside before, though. It is a nice stadium, so I was looking forward to it. And then Sky decided to make it a little bit difficult, which, as you say, Middlesbrough have had the fact that Middlesbrough have had to do the same thing coming to us a few years back is just says it all, doesn't it? Really, but we still took a fair number up there. I was impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, we're not going to talk about the football. And although we did lose 1-0 in a match that Boro, fair play to them, they completely did deserve the points there. This is all about the experience. And look, the kickoff time, it has to take a part of our decision-making, because what we've got is a tier list. And you can see it on screen right now. These are all the away days that AFC Bournemouth have got. And look, we may be reclassifying these over the next couple of weeks just to maybe put some in their rightful position, because once you make decisions at the start of the season, I think we put a load of them in the second category there, as you can see, but we might be having to shift them around. And what we do rate is a number of things, such as the pre-match experience. What's it like getting up there, parking, pubs? Not that you'll know for a 12:30 kickoff. The stadium itself as well, nice facility is the Riverside. The concourse and facilities as well, what the toilets like, is it easy to move around? Yes, when you've got only 500 fans. Food and drink, what's it like? The view from your seat, the comfort of your seat, and also the home fan decibel level as well. And look, we're going to try to leave our bias at the door. So, like I say, we're going to forget the result as well. But the first category that we're going to do today is pre-match experience. And Tom, it's got to be said, we need to be transparent. We weren't in Middlesbrough for the bulk of that weekend, were we?
No, we weren't. We decided to go up the day before and go up to Newcastle, just go a little bit further and go to Newcastle for a bit of a night out and just stay over and stuff like that. So yeah, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't Middlesbrough, so we can't really rate it. I enjoyed the night, mate. Did you? I thought it was good.
Absolutely did. And look, we even spoke to a few Boro fans on the way to the ground, and they said we made the right decision. And one guy, even at full time, you'd think he'd be overjoyed by the result, but he was saying, to be honest, no, you did the right thing. It's run down here. It's not particularly great. To be fair, we walked down the high street. Wasn't too bad. 3 betting shops in a row. You know what you're getting in Boro. There were a few pubs that you could go in, but look, at that time, what are you really going to do? You just want to get to the ground, especially after a heavy night as well. The coaches had to do an extra stop just before they got to the Riverside. Otherwise, they'd have got there too early. The roads up there, especially the M1, was absolutely clear. And look, in terms of parking, really easy. Loads of places on Just Park and local shopping centre car parks. It's a quick, relatively quick, straight walk to the stadium, and quite liked it. Tom went under the underpass. There was a guy playing his guitar, wishing us Merry Christmas. It was all very jovial before kickoff, and I've got to say, from the number of away days I've done so far, possibly some of the friendliest people I've met. Actually, really nice fans.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. Yeah, it's a good point. I thought everyone I met was in good spirits, particularly after the game, but even before. And yeah, it's really difficult this one, isn't it, to kind of rate fairly because of the fact of the kickoff time and and having to probably didn't get to experience pre-match properly. So potentially we'll both be able to do it in the Premier League next season. Who knows? But yeah, it's hard to judge. But like you say, everything that we did experience before the game, I was quite happy with, and yeah, like you said, people seem really great.
Yeah, they certainly did. Okay, so what's your score for the pre-match experience out of 10, mate?
I think it's, like I say, it's difficult. I'm just going to go with a 6. I think I don't really know what I could do there, so I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I agree with that. 6 out of 10 for the pre-match experience. And look, some people have contacted us and they've been tallying our scores each week, and then they've been looking at our overall grade on the tier list and saying, how come they scored less but they appear in a higher tier? There is a method to our madness, I'm telling you right now. Right, the stadium itself, Riverside Stadium, was opened in 1995 and it's got a capacity of about 34,000 or so. I think 18,000 packed in to the stadium. I say packed in, there was plenty of space, plenty of seats. But it is a nice modern facility, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like it actually. Sometimes I quite like sitting on the side as well. I'm behind the goal at home games, and you're behind the goal the majority of the time at away matches. Sometimes it's quite nice. We get a decent view and stuff. And yeah, the stadium itself is a top class stadium. I mean, they've had plenty of years in the Premier League, and you can see that. And yeah, I do really like it. And the kind of vocal crowd of Middlesbrough are quite close to us, so you can get that bit of banter going. And yeah, I think it's a really nice stadium. If it wasn't for how far it was, I probably would have been there a few more times.
I think the facility is obviously decent, even off the pitch as well, because obviously the building's relatively new, but the media facilities. I mean, look, like England, I swear, played there a few times when Wembley was being redeveloped. So I know we played a number of grounds across the across the country, and the Riverside Stadium was definitely one of them. I'm sure we played a couple of games there, in fact. So it's obviously highly rated. In terms of the stadium itself, then very similar to St Mary's and other grounds like that. But what are you going for out of 10?
I don't know whether to go a bit higher or not. I'll go 7. Let's not go too high.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's close to an 8 because I do like it, but I'm going to stick with 7, I think.
So Tom's going for 7 for that. Concourse and facilities then. Well, I tell you what, once I finally worked out how to get my ticket working, you have to push it right into the blooming turnstile, and then it opened up, and you know what? I couldn't move for people. No, there's bellying on there. So much space, it was unbelievable. So in terms of the concourse, like even if you had double the amount, triple the amount, got to say very spacious. Like, you know what? One thing that really struck me in the last season of the Premier League against Spurs, it was the last season when we went to their new stadium, was how cramped their concourse was for the away supporters. But Middlesbrough obviously thought about their stadium design, and loads of space, I've got to say. And in terms of the facilities, really easy to get to a toilet. It was bog standard. Plus, Tom, were you able to go out at half time?
I was, yeah. And like you say, there's going to be a lot of things that, because of Sky and because of the time and stuff like that, it's going to be, and the travelling we have to do, it's going to mark it down. But because we didn't have as many fans, it means stuff like this could be rated a bit better because, like you say, it's so spacious. But I agree with you. Even if it take double, so a very spacious concourse. I think we've noticed, been to them all this season, and a lot of them are really crammed. So that was a nice change. And yeah, let you out at half time, and you can go out there and take your drink out there and stuff. So yeah, I was quite impressed with it. And like I say, that's one of the things that, coming all that way and only taking 500 or so, it means it's quite spacious down there, and I always like it when they got the tellies on as well. Yeah. I went down just for half time for a change, and I managed to see one of our glaring misses Christy, just before half time, and saw a replay and stuff like that. So that's always nice as well.
I've got to say, the staff were really friendly, especially the stewards on the outside of the ground. So afterwards, if you're new to this channel, you may not know that we always record fan interviews as soon as the match is finished. And whilst we were interrupted by the tannoy a couple of times, this guy came over just as he was walking past and wishing us a safe trip, like a really genuine, heartfelt, have a safe journey back, because he realises the sacrifices that us away fans had to make for it. So in terms of the facilities and the concourse, mate, what are you going for out of 10?
We're going up by 1 each time. I'm going to go for an 8.
8. Superb. He's gone for 8. Right, I'm going to say this myself, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you ate anything, but I did. We'll talk about drinks shortly, but my God, right. So we had a breakfast at the Premier Inn in Newcastle, drove down. Tom, hair of the dog, he was on it. Yeah, fair play, mate. You had a pint beforehand. Really easy to get served, obviously. There seemed to be more people behind the counter than AFC Bournemouth fans in the concourse at one stage. Half time, though, not so great experience because, I mean, whilst the bars had, tap after tap free, that you could just, go and grab your pint, for food, there were only a couple of people serving, and the queue sort of swept round in an L shape. And I was waiting from about, I don't know, it was about 20 past 1 to nearly the start of the second half, actually. So yeah, not particularly great. Sort of 10-12 minute wait for a burger that I would describe as bloody awful. It was really, really bad. So they had, and what really annoyed me is that Lucy, who I was with, ordered a cheeseburger, and one box was marked with a purple sort of dot, as if to differentiate, that's got cheese or that's got, hasn't. I asked the person behind the counter, they didn't know what the purple dot meant. So it's like, have to open it up and have a look. That's not the worst thing. The taste was the worst thing. Open it up. So the top part of the bun was really hard. It's like bread that's been around for like a day or so. It was like rock solid. So, and then the bottom one was really soggy. And then in between was this burned, horrible mess that not even tomato ketchup could save. It wasn't particularly great, I've got to say. Lucy had one where the buns were a little bit better, slightly soggy, but again, the burgers weren't particularly great. So weren't pleased with that. A plus side though, and this has happened at a couple of grounds, they allowed you to keep the lids on the bottles, which is a good thing, because if you are wanting to celebrate a goal, not that we had anything to celebrate, we had to pretend in order to celebrate. You don't want to be kind of worrying about where your hands go, and if you put it between your legs, you don't want to be knocking it over. So that was a plus point. I think maybe the reason they do that is we were so far from the pitch, they put us on an upper part of it, whereas we probably wouldn't have been able to throw that far. Another thing as well, the Bovril that I got, I could only drink it after about 30 minutes. It was hotter than the sun, so that wasn't particularly good. Just maybe turn the thermostat down a little bit, mate. But beer, was it all right?
Beer was all right. Bog standard. I think I had a Foster's. Yeah, it was bog standard. They did have dark fruit there, which I'm not a dark fruit drinker really, but they don't. That's quite strange. I don't see that very often. That's quite nice. But yeah, I literally went down, and like I say, it's very rare that I come back up my seat before you, but I did. And that was obviously because of your weight. And then I thought, I'll see what the burgers look like. I thought, no chance am I going down and have one of them. And listen, we're football fans. You expect bog standard stuff at football grounds. Yeah. We're not expecting, Michelin star stuff, but it looked horrendous. So yeah, I feel your pain a little bit there. I was pleased, like you say, I bought up a Sprite for the second half and allowed to have my lid on because Stevie was next to me, lost his head at one point, chucked his hat, and it hit my Sprite. And if there wasn't a lid on it, that would have gone everywhere. So definitely a mark up for that. But I don't know, I feel like I need to pass this to you a little bit for a rating, Sam, because I didn't actually eat.
I wasn't happy.
It was just a lager, so
I wasn't happy. Firstly, the weight, and then the quality of what. I mean, they had chips, which makes a nice change because we didn't have chips at Dean Court, and they'd be standard options. But you know what, mate? I'm going 3 out of 10 for this. 3. So there we go. 3 out of 10, and that's me this time. Right, I do like being behind the goal, but this time we were kind of at the side, weren't we? So we were almost in line with the goal line. So we had a pretty good view, almost similar to Peterborough, I'd say. Good height, fairly spacious seats. Not that I sort of needed to sit down at all, but it's pretty good view, and there's a cantilever stadium, no pillars, and you know what? I thought it was perfect, really.
Yeah, ideal. Not a lot to talk about on this one. Like you say, it was at the side rather than behind the goal, which sometimes I don't mind for a change. And yeah, I think it's another factor where we've only got 500 or so. You can kind of wander around. It's going to be very surprising if you can't see well. So yeah, was happy with it. Nothing spectacular, but decent view. Can't complain about that at all. I think I'm just going to go for a solid 7.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. Completely agree with that. Right then, this is the one where many EFL clubs in the Championship have struggled this season, apart from Derby. But home fan loudness, always a problem at Dean Court, we've got to say. And look, there's always people that come on the comments and say, you can talk, because your stadium's crap. And you can have that opinion, but we're reviewing you, okay? So we're not keeping Dean Court in mind, because we can sometimes be quite poor on a match day. Middlesbrough, on the other hand, I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. If you've watched most of the other videos, the only one I've missed this season was Derby, which obviously has done well in this category. That's the only game I've missed as an away fan this season, and so I can't comment on that one. And every other one I've been disappointed with, some more so than others, but I have been disappointed. And Boro was a nice change because they were by far the best that I've seen. Yeah. Really, obviously, result in that helps, but they were doing it at 0-0. They were doing it when they were under the cosh. I thought they really tried to get an atmosphere going. Joined in with some of our songs, didn't they, about Sky TV and things. So that was nice. But yeah, I thought they really got it going, and credit to them for that. And like you say, we're no different. Home fans, I think, sometimes get overawed by the away support, and it's easy to just kind of sit there and watch the game. But they had a good section behind the goal that I thought really, helped their side. They really did help their side get over the line, I felt. And that was. Yeah, a big plus point for Middlesbrough. We mentioned earlier that a lot of the people were really nice that we met, and the people in the stadium were what they should be doing as well, really getting behind their side. So I enjoyed seeing that for a change.
Yeah, some good solidarity with the Sky TV. They even unfurled a banner that was so nice, and also joined in with some Leeds chant as well. I think, or maybe we even joined them. I'm not even sure, but either way, mate, I was quite impressed. What's it going to be out of 10?
Got to give them an 8 for that. 8 out of 10.
So, Middlesbrough fans, you're probably watching this thinking, you know what, we've scored all right in most categories, but not a food and drink. So that that must mean you're putting us in a good tier. And look, this is our tier list at the moment. We've got the categories on screen, and they range from the very top, the echelons, yes lads, and then it goes down to decent, so-so, nah mate, and absolute dog. And look, this is probably where we don't want you to take any offence whatsoever, because look, I don't know what Tom's going to say, but I've got a feeling he might say a certain category. Where's this one going, mate?
It's really difficult, isn't it? Just a caveat, like you say, things that you've said, people add them up sometimes, but at the end of the day, if I'm travelling 9 hours, the view doesn't matter as much as the 9 hours travel. You've got to weigh it all up. So Middlesbrough, sadly for them, we're never, ever going to get in the top 2 categories because we're travelling so far. And that's nothing to do with Middlesbrough. That's not their fault. And then Sky move it to half 12. And then you have a crap burger. And we can't even get in the pubs before. And like I say, none of this is Middlesbrough's fault. But we got to go on our experience. I think there were certain things, like I say, I like the stadium and I thought their fans were good, which stops them going into the absolute dog because they don't deserve that, despite how far it is from us. But it's going to have to be now, mate, because of the distance. The distance alone makes it struggle to get any higher than that. And yeah, so I'm going to go now, mate. And maybe next time, if I get to go there again, could experience a bit more before the game if we get a later kickoff, and it might notch up one. But for now, I can't put it above now, mate.
So, like on the Championship League table where you look down and you've got like Derby County and you see their points tally and you see a little asterisk. This is our asterisk, right? We're going to put you in now, mate. But if we could say something else, it was like, but, your fans are bloody awesome and you're allowed. And obviously with the Sky TV and the kickoff time thing and the journey that we have to do, that has probably swayed our decision. Look, if we don't go up this season, we're hoping we do. Hopefully we'll come to you again, or maybe you'll go up and we won't. We don't quite know, but anyway, don't take offence. Let us know your thoughts. Tell us what pubs we should have maybe gone to, what night spots we could have hit in Middlesbrough. Did we make the right choice by going to Newcastle? We would love to know. Tom, once again, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure as always, and unless Boris changes it, on to QPR for the next one.
On to QPR for the next one. And until the next one, up the chairs.
Cheers.